Either we are there or not, ITSP Magazine still gets the best stories. There are plenty of conferences and all sorts of events that spark our curiosity and allow us to start conversations with some of the world's brightest minds. In person or virtually, we sit down with them at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Together, we discover what the synergy of these three elements means for the future of humanity. Knowledge is power, now more than ever. CrowdSec, the collaborative and open source cybersecurity solution. Analyze behaviors, respond to attacks, and share signals across the community for free. Let's make the internet safer together. Learn more at crowdsec.net. EdgeScan offers continuous vulnerability intelligence as a service, accurately identifying vulnerabilities and exposures across the full stack. All threats are verified by cybersecurity experts, providing exploitable risk and remediation guidance, virtually false positive free. Learn more at edgescan.com. Pantera, the leader in automation security validation, allows organizations to continuously test the integrity of all cybersecurity layers by emulating real-world attacks at scale to pinpoint the exploitable vulnerabilities and prioritize remediation towards business impact. Learn more at www.pantera.io.
Marco.
Sean.
Vroom, vroom.
You're on the road? What are you doing?
I'm not. My car is backfiring and I don't know what the hell's going on.
Come on, I know you're that little like model car on the desk and you're like making the noise.
It was the auto update. I don't know what the hell happened.
Well, I cannot think of more of a chat on the road to a conference than when we actually talk about cars.
Right.
And hacking cars. So this is just perfect. I love your vroom vroom. Somebody got it. If not, think you're crazy and that's okay.
That's right. And I can still picture now the village from a few years back. We had so much fun. We met so many cool friends who some of them we got to see again after meeting them in London. With the portable car hacking box, and we continue to make new friends, and I'm thrilled to have another new friend on the show. Justin, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
And this is our Chats on the Road to Hackers Summer Camp, Black Hat and DEF CON, and we get the opportunity to chat with organizers and speakers and others from the villages. And this is about the car hacking village, where everything on wheels is fair game, if I'm not mistaken. So, Justin, maybe a few moments to share with us who you are, the work you do, and your role with the village.
Yeah, definitely. Hello, everybody. I'm Justin, car hacking village lead this year. I've been leading it for the last 2 years prior to this. So I took over from Robert Lieli in 2020, the year that we did the whole remote. We were actually in a garage, just kind of posted up, had a couple of vehicles in there and set our whole entire CTF thing up remotely. That was the first year I took over car hacking village. It was a little bit of a hybrid with Robert. And then last year was my first year kind of doing everything on my own. I mean, obviously we have a lot of support and Robert's still there helping. And then this year's more, he's cutting the strings even more on me, just like, hey, your turn to lead and drive this thing how you want to drive it. So yeah, it's definitely been a lot of fun. Work-wise, I've been in the automotive industry for the last 10, 11 years. I recently actually just got out of automotive. I went into the consulting side so I can kind of mess around with more electronics than just cars. I still mess around with cars a lot. I still do a lot of training and teaching with cars and different aspects of vehicles, but I don't know. I just wanted to see what else is out there and play with other electronics as well.
Nice.
Break some other stuff.
Speaking of electronics, I have to make this point because I dream about it all the time because I actually left it in LA. I don't have it on my person. It's the car hacking village badge from I think it was 2019.
Yes.
The wrench. I love that thing. It's probably the best badge I own.
Yes, the wrench. We had a couple different wrenches, and then we had the Jetsons one.
Yes.
What did we have last year? Oh, we had a little bow tie one last year. The one this year is really cool.
Tell us about it.
It's a skull and crossbones. It was developed by a company named Intrepid. They actually developed everything in-house within the company, and they actually fabbed and made all the boards in Michigan. So it's all locally made. Everything's done in the United States. The badge has a Raspberry Pi Pico board into it that connects right into some CAN adapters, and it allows you to essentially, do more CAN interactions. They're calling it OBD kill, so kind of going off the USB kill pun. I don't have full details on everything yet. I'm still learning a lot of the stuff as things are getting released, but it's definitely a really cool badge. The fact that it's got the Raspberry Pi on there, I think is just, blows it out of the water, because now anybody can reprogram it. You can design, it's connected right into the CAN transceiver, so people can program however they'd like to and be able to, do their different things with their vehicles.
Yep. So, Justin, the idea here is to have in mind an audience that is both part of the community, they've been part of the community for a long time, so they want to know, okay, what am I going to find this year when I go at the car hacking village? And this is the story we've been telling with other villages as well. But it's also for people that come there for the first time, people that want to enter in the industry, or maybe they're doing it as a learning. I mean, I know a lot of students this year are coming, DEF CON and Black Hat as well. So tell us, is there something that it needs to advertise for what's happening this year? Like, what people are going to find there, and what can appeal to one kind of community member versus the new community member?
Yeah. So there's, as always, we always have a CTF. We try to give as many hands-on challenges as possible, especially on vehicles or on components of vehicles that people may not have access to. That's one of our biggest things, whether you're a novice person or an expert. We want to be able to give you guys the environment to play around in and not have to worry about damaging something, not have to worry about not having the tools. And then on top of that, we also like to have the expertise around. So that's why we bring a lot of different volunteers in from the industry to help out as well. So for the newcomers that might not know like what tools or how to run a certain command or what to look into, we have a lot of different volunteers and staff that are, always here to help the newcomers learn what components in cars they can get into, what's even in cars. So a lot of students, I do a lot of teaching outside, and a lot of students always ask me, like, how do I get into vehicles? What part do I get into a vehicle? They seem very complex. And I typically just try to ask them, like, what area of technology are you interested in? Do you like web? Do you like networking? Do you like programming? Like, pick your sauce. Vehicles have it all. Do you like to just mess with maybe wireless stuff, whatever? So we try to bring that environment to DEF CON and to the village to allow people to have hands-on experience. So.
And certainly the innovations in the auto industry continue, right? Autonomous cars and certainly battery technology. I'm sure there's a lot surrounding that as well. How do you, as a village, kind of keep up on all of that and help bring some of that to the folks that join you at DEF CON and beyond?
Yeah, no, that's actually a really great question. So this year, I don't know if you guys have seen in the news, I think it came out about June timeframe. There was that issue with the Honda key fobs it's actually just a fixed code. Once you get the key, you can unlock and lock that vehicle as many times as you'd like. That just was released, like I said, in June. We actually will have the vehicle on the floor at DEF CON this year, and there will be challenges around that actual exploit. So that's one of the ways we try to keep abreast of new exploits and things that are coming out. But in regards to technologies as well, we always try to bring the newest, whatever cars are coming out. Like we've always had a Tesla bench out there. I think that's always kind of cool, allowing people to play with a Tesla, the infotainment system, all that. This year we will actually have a Model Y on the floor as well. So people, we'll be able to play around with that as well. So we try to.
Did they get to smash it this year too?
No smashing this year. Yeah, that was the one we gave away. Maybe if we give one away another year, we'll allow them to smash. But yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I have in my mind, because we were there that year. It was like, I think 2019, before everything shut down. And I can picture that Tesla right there and people going at it. It's kind of crazy.
I think my favorite one was, so the way that challenge worked is in the CTF, there was essentially like a die or a ball you can roll, and whatever number you get, there's certain items of what you get for the CTF. So some of it might be like -10 points to your team, -10 points to whatever team, but some of the numbers on there had like drop a bowling ball on the Tesla, or my favorite one was hack the Tesla. But what they did is they took a hacksaw and they sawed the hood in half. So that was a version of hacking the Tesla.
Right.
Talking about getting creative, right?
That's in good shape, I remember.
Yeah, that was. They drove it home though. They had to put. I think they had to put a piece of cardboard over the hood though. It was completely gone.
Hey, it's still worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice one. Well, so let's talk about talks. I know one of the beautiful things about the villages is all this hands-on experience where you get to play with vehicles and dashes and systems and networks and apps and all the fun stuff. But there's also the learning part where researchers and others come together and share the work that they've done. Can you maybe highlight some of the talks you have going? And I don't know, are those on site there or online, or what are those looking like?
Yeah, so the talks that we have this year, they will all be remote. So they'll be hosted on our Car Hacking Village channel, our YouTube channel. It's also all available on our website. So if you go to carhackingvillage.com, scroll down a little bit, it'll show the area for our talks. If you click on that, it'll list all the talks and their descriptions. And then it also has the YouTube links for each talk. A lot of the talks this year are focusing around some different tools that people have been developing. One of the big talks that we have, as well as, like I was mentioning earlier, with that Honda hack that recently came out, the guy that helped develop that and was in the news for it, he'll be presenting his findings there, and as well as possibly giving some special things out at the end of the presentation. I guess I don't want to give that away right now. But yeah, he's pretty new to the industry. He's pretty excited about everything. I've talked to him a few times, so that talk seems like it'll be pretty cool. There's also going to be a talk on our badge, so going over the details of our badge, what it's used for, what else, other capabilities you may have with it. And then there's one other talk, I think, on some wireless stuff as well, and biometrics. So there's a pretty wide range of different content that will be provided out there.
I know. I know you described the badge, but for folks that may not know, it's actually a functional badge, right? That connects.
Absolutely.
Can you just? I know you said it connects to the CAN bus, but can you maybe describe that a little more? What people can do with it?
So my understanding, and I'm going to slaughter this one, and I feel bad because they haven't provided me all the details. With the whole OBD kill function, there is a way to plug it in and just essentially kill the CAN on a car. That's my understanding. I don't want to try to guess more details because I'm going to look like an idiot. So
no, we don't want you to do that.
So we'll wait for the talk that comes out.
That's cool.
All right. Let me take this time to do a little walk back, because I think it's important especially for a village that's been around like yours. Explain people why the village was born, and not just the car hacking one, but the concept of the village, which now I'm kind of calling it the villages that make a bigger village, because no matter what, they are all interconnected. But the reason why you spend so much time, like you guys are not paid for doing this. That's the crazy thing, is like you really dedicate your time. And what is your goal and what inspires you? The why of the villages?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the biggest thing why we all do this, and I think Robert shares the same feeling, is just giving back to the community and providing an avenue for people to learn. I think, as we get a lot of newcomers into the industry, different people trying to understand what's going on in cybersecurity, having a platform and an environment where people can come and meet experts in the field as well as tinker with the technology. I mean, where else do you get opportunities like that? There's a lot of different individuals I spoke to outside of the country that don't have the pleasure to come to DEF CON every year and don't make it out here all the time, but they sure as hell watch all of our talks, and they sure as hell wish they had the ability to have hands-on and sit in the village and actually play with cars. So that's one of the biggest things that we're trying to provide, is the ability for people to learn hands-on, but also have experts around, because we've all been down the path where we're learning something new, and it's just like, man, I wish I just had a guy next to me that was really good at this stuff, and as I'm typing one line, he could be like, no, change this right here, and then it'll work. I feel like you learn a lot quicker that way, because you're doing it hands-on, but then when you get stuck with something, you kind of have someone to guide you a little bit. So that kind of is our goal, is having that floor that people can learn on. And then on top of that, obviously providing the badges, that's a big one for us as well. We always try to provide some kind of tool with our badge. We want our badges to be usable outside of DEF CON, and we don't want it, just to be a one-time use. So that's another big thing, is we try to give back that way by providing cheap tools. Because if you think about a lot of our badges, they're maybe $100 at the most. But if you went and bought a tool like that from a supplier, you're probably going to spend hundreds or $1,000 or plus dollars. So those are ways we try to give back, and the reason why we kind of do a lot of this stuff here.
And do you have a CTF this year as well?
Yes, we do have a CTF this year. That'll be in person, so we won't have anything remote this year. We're not doing a hybrid like we did last year. That'll be all in person. It'll be from Friday 10 a.m. till Friday and Saturday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon. And we will be announcing winners at 1 o'clock. There will be a lot of really cool challenges in there. A different one that Robert recently was working on is like a virtual car simulator. So the entire car is essentially built into a video game, it looks like. And you can plug into this video game and get access to the car and start, sending CAN messages or interacting with the car in different ways. But the car essentially has fuel, and it has, different attributes in it, like a real vehicle. And people have to try to drive it on a track and race each other and different things like that. But it's all through hacking the vehicle in a virtual simulation. So I think that one's going to be really cool, because it gives more access to vehicles. So when we have one vehicle down there, it's hard for us to give access to 20 or 30 people to hack on that vehicle at one time, because obviously bandwidth and everything we're limited on. So once you put it out into a cloud-based system and virtualize it, now you can get a lot more people to kind of play the game and go along. So that's a really cool one that's coming out. And then there's a couple of our sponsors are working on a few different challenges in regards to, what their industry or where they're coming from. So I think there might be some autonomous stuff. Another thing that's funny with our CTF, the way we work on it or do it, because obviously we don't want somebody to know the flags. I don't even know the flags. I don't know all the details. We have things kind of siloed to make sure that for security and safety reasons, people can't just game the system.
Love it. Well, I can see all the fun stuff. I can feel the vibe from a few years ago, and I'm hoping everybody gets a chance to stop by and check things out, and feel that vibe for themselves. Make some new friends. I know we have quite a number. For shout out to MintyNet out there. I don't know if he's arrived in Vegas yet or not, but and Kirsten for helping to put this together. We're actually going to do a live stream from the village with Kirsten, so everybody should stay tuned for that conversation. So we can virtually bring a small bit of the vibe to you through that, and so you can get a sense of it. But don't just take our word for it. Go hang out with Justin and crew, and dig in, learn, support them, and be part of the community. So Marco.
Yeah, they'll be
Vroom,
vroom vroom, and they'll be making memories. I swear. I mean, I've seen a lot of places that I've been traveling, but I always have great memory thinking about walking around the villages at DEF CON, and definitely without taking anything away from the other, the car hacking is an incredible experience. So good luck, Justin, for what is about to come, and thank you again for all you do for the community, for the industry, and sharing the knowledge. It's very important.
Awesome. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Marco and Sean. Appreciate the opportunity to do this podcast with you guys.
Pantera, the leader in automation security validation, allows organizations to continuously test the integrity of all cybersecurity layers by emulating real-world attacks at scale to pinpoint the exploitable vulnerabilities and prioritize remediation towards business impact. Learn more at www.pantera.io.
EdgeScan offers continuous vulnerability intelligence as a service, accurately identifying vulnerabilities and exposures across the full stack. All threats are verified by cybersecurity experts, providing exploitable risk and remediation guidance, virtually false positive free. Learn more at edgescan.com. CrowdSec, the collaborative and open source cybersecurity solution. Analyze behaviors, respond to attacks, and share signals across the community for free. Let's make the internet safer together. Learn more at crowdsec.net. We hope you enjoyed this episode of our on-location conversation. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.